कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लीजिए क्योंकि आप एक दूसरी दुनिया में जाने वाले हैं।
Dhaniram, who was grazing his cows as always in Delhi Reach on 28th August 1978 at somewhere close to 6 p.m., discovered some human bodies. The bodies were reported to the patrolling constable Rohtash Singh at midnight by Dhaniram. Hari Chand, who was a sub-inspector, was sent to the site. The parents were called to that place to identify those bodies. The parents identified them as their children. Well, you might be thinking, whose bodies are those? How did they end up there? How did Dhaniram discover those bodies abandoned in the middle of nowhere? Was it a murder or a suicide? Let's find and clear all your doubts in this new case study of Ranga-Billa, Geeta and Sanjay Chopra kidnapping case. Channel. We are Kreepin678 and we make videos of case studies of crimes. Our Spotify link is in the description. Hope you will like that. And let's jump on into today's case. The Geeta and Sanjay Chopra kidnapping case is one of the most popular cases in all of India. The murder happened in New Delhi, but the whole of central India felt the tremors. It is also popularly known as the Ranga-Billa kidnapping case. It involved the kidnapping and subsequent murder of siblings Geeta and Sanjay by Kuljit Singh aka Ranga and Jasbir Singh aka Billa. The main reason for the kidnapping of the siblings was ransom. But they were killed after the kidnappers got to know their father was not wealthy and he wouldn't be able to pay the asked amount. Father was a naval officer. In the investigation, both the kidnappers admitted that they raped Geeta after a murder, but in the forensic report, there was no evidence of rape. Well, it's still a mystery why would they add up more allegations against themselves? However, the two kidnappers were convicted and sentenced to death. The execution was carried out in the year 1982. Geeta Chopra was a 16-year-old second-year student at Jesus and Mary College at New Delhi. Her brother Sanjay was a 14-year-old student in the 10th standard of the modern school. Their father, Madan Mohan Chopra, was a captain in the Indian Navy. They lived in the officers' enclave in Daula Con. On Saturday 26th August 1978, Geeta and Sanjay were supposed to participate in a radio program called the Yuva Vani on All India Radio. They were to reach the All India Radio office on the Sansad Marg by 7 p.m. Their father was supposed to pick them up outside the All India Radio after the program at 9 p.m. Both the brother and the sister left their house at 6:15 p.m. for the radio program. A man gave the children a list from Daula Khan to Golda Khana as it was drizzling. The man's name was M.S. Nanda. While traveling from Gurudwara Bangla Sahib towards the North Avenue near the yoga ashram at Golda Khana, Bhagwan Das had noticed a mustard-colored Fiat car. When he approached the car, he saw a girl pulling the hair of the driver. Meanwhile, the other guy in the back seat was fighting with the passenger by the driver's seat. He couldn't even stop the car. It went out of his sight before he could even blink and open his eyes. Many other people, when they noticed the thing, tried to stop the car, but no one could. One even left his bicycle and tried to pull the handle of the car, but he failed too. Dash informed the police and also told them the required information like the nameplate and the license number. He also reported that the girl was shouting for help. A guy named Inderjit Singh While returning home from work in his scooter, noticed a car speeding and he heard shouts from inside. He went after the car and lined his scooter by the car. He saw a girl and a boy struggling with the other two guys in the front seat. Sanjay tried to show Inderjit his bleeding shoulder and was pleading him for help. Inderjit followed the car to Shankar Road but lost it soon after because of red light. Inderjit rushed to the police and reported this, but the police said they couldn't help without the orders from the High Court. The siblings' show was about to start as it was 7:55 p.m. The parents sat in front of the radio as they wanted to listen to their son and daughter on the radio program. When the program started, they saw that another girl was giving their slot. Hence, the father took his scooter and went to the radio office, but his children were nowhere to be found. Hence he got back home, but before coming home he called his wife and asked if they reached home. But his wife said they didn't. After reaching home, he was tensed by now. He thought of going to the police, but rather he first called the relatives and asked whether they were in their house. But everyone denied it. The kidnappers reached Willingdon Hospital because one of the kidnappers, Billa, had a cut in his head. The doctor asked him to take a sheargraph of his scalp. One of them left a fingerprint on the sheargraph, and over here's the mistake they did. This sheargraph fingerprint later on matched their fingerprints when they were apprehended. They said they were hurt by some thieves who tried to rob them in their car. They also didn't say their real name. Instead, they used some fake name when the doctors asked for it. The constable on duty at the hospital, Ranveer Singh, took their statement in which they said they were attacked near Kali Mandir on Bangla Sahib Road. Their watch was stolen and the injury was from an iron rod. Ranveer informed the police station and two other officers came to the hospital for further questions. Even though the doctors asked them to stay till the next morning, but they left then and there. The police asked the duos to take them to the spot where they were robbed. The duos took the police to the spot, but they couldn't find anything. Hence, the police asked them to take them back to the station. It was almost 2 in the morning and the kidnappers left the station, but they were asked to report to the station again in the morning. But they didn't come back later that day. Hence the police officer went to the address given by the kidnappers and found out that it was fake. The officer reported to the transport office and found the vehicle number belonged to a scooter. The bodies were found by a man named Dhaniram. And you know what happened, as I have already mentioned this in the before. I will still explain in brief. He was grazing his cow as usual, and suddenly he saw two bodies of a young boy and a girl. Then he informed the police and then the investigation started, and later in the investigation it was found that they were kidnapped by two kidnappers. On 31st August, the police found a car which was matching everything with the car which the kidnappers used to kidnap them. The police investigated the owner and the owner told them that the car was stolen after 6 weeks of purchase. They saw many parts inside were missing and they also got to know from the neighbors that they saw a guy driving the car and also asked them for directions. During the forensic, the soil samples from the car matched the soil samples from the crime site. The kidnappers were arrested on a train a few weeks later on 8th September 1978. On that day, the two kidnappers boarded the Kalka mill when it had slowed near the Yamuna River Bridge near Agra. The compartment they entered was reserved for military personnel, so they were asked to show their identity cards. They started a scuffle with the army men and were suppressed. Land snake A.V. Shetty recognized them from a newspaper picture. On 9th September 1978, they were handed over to Inspector V.P. Gupta at the New Delhi railway station. They were held in separate non-adjoining cells. They were investigated and the police found a sword in their bag while they had blood stains on their clothes, and the doctors found many cuts and scars on their body while Billa's head had an injury that was about 15 days older. Many samples were taken from them for further testing. On 22nd September, Ranga made a voluntary confession which was recorded by a metropolitan magistrate, but the statement was later retracted on 28th November. On 19th October, Billa gave a simple confession but retracted it on 27th October. The confessions were later held to be independent as they had been kept in a non-adjoining cells. The police found much evidence against Ranga and Billa which made one thing sure, that they were the main culprit, cause till now everything was going against the kidnappers. In court, many gave witnesses against the kidnappers. For example, the doctors of Wellington Hospital told how they used fake names and other lies they told. The radiographer opined that the original sheargraph of that man matched with the recent sheargraph of Billa's. Finally, Kuljit Singh aka Ranga Kush and Jasbir Singh aka Billa were convicted and sentenced to death under Section 302 of the Indian Penal Code for murder. Read with Section 34 for common intention by an additional sessions judge in Delhi. They were also convicted for crimes under Section 363 for kidnapping, 365 for kidnapping with unlawful confinement, 366 for kidnapping a woman with the intention of sexual intercourse, 367 for kidnapping to cause of harm. Read with Section 34. And it ends here. For me, this is very sensitive. Just think or just imagine what the other sibling had to pass through when the other one was killed in front of him or her. This world is not going in the right way. Humanity is just lost and cruelty is on the rise. Like, I don't even have words. I will end this here. Also, before going, I would ask you to comment down your thoughts about this case in the comment section, and also give a like if you like this podcast or video. So meet you again on another video or another case study. Till then, stay safe and question everything and trust nothing, or question everyone and trust no one. Ta-ta.